Hello and welcome back to the Inflatable Chef. I'm Hugh, and as ever, here's a more for us, my first aid trained helper. And so today we are in the wonderful Llansteffan and we're going for cockles. And now, given the abject failure of the previous video in terms of finding something edible, we've been here before, we know exactly what to look for and where, and so there is going to be something coming up, as you've probably seen by the thumbnail. And so the tide is out, the beds are ripe for the picking. Let's get to it. So, a long walk down a very cold and wet beach. My shoes have holes in the bottom for drainage, but it also lets the cold water in. But we are at our favourite location now for cockles. So, getting cockles is as easy here as 1, 2, 3.
Look.
And look at the beautiful size. I get my hands cold, whereas Amor,
Look, they're babies.
Amor has a lovely little rake.
I got a shrimp here.
And a little shrimp. Now, cockles being bivalves and filter feeders, well, they're going to be full of sand. And so ideally for a couple of hours you're going to purge them in seawater or salt water. Given this is an estuary, the water here is actually fresh right now, and so we've made our own seawater, which is roughly 35 grams of salt for a litre of water. And so these guys are going to be purging while we collect, and hopefully by the time we're done we can cook up something nice and they'll be grit free. And if not, lots of milk gives us strong teeth.
We're just gonna pick the slightly bigger ones and leave the other ones to grow here big. How's your hands going?
I'm embracing.
I can see it from here. It's really red now. You okay? Yeah.
When they look like that, that doesn't matter so much.
Oh dear.
Now, the one bad thing about cockles is there's a lot of sand in them, and we purge them in the bathtub. Luckily, that is a rented flat because that sand just all goes in the drain, and that's probably not good. Probably worse than coffee grinds.
Sorry, landlord.
But cockles. About 6 kilos. And so the tide is just turning. Well, we have 6 kilos, so time for a little bit more and then hightail it, because being an estuary, that tide is just gonna whoosh in and we do not want to be caught by that.
Perch, baby, perch. Whoop, whoop.
So there you have it. Cockles. Now, we were in the local fishmonger the other day. I think they're 14 quid a kilo. 1 hour of our time, a nice day out, and that's what? 115 quid's worth for a nice day. I think that's a fair compromise. And so we've got some purging. These will come back home with us, and we'll pickle some, we'll steam some, we'll freeze some, and try not to be greedy. So now that the tide is turning, heading to the cliffs and the rock pools, because you can't go to the beach and not have winkles. And as you may know, we love winkles and pina coladas.
I just said no more picking up. Just can't stop, eh? Put it back.
Supposedly you could eat them raw. Being a bivalve, that sounds a bit sketchy, but this water is very nice and clean. We don't have a lot of pollution in this area. I mean, there's regular testing, given that there are cockle licensed cockle farmers here. And so maybe sometime we're going to try some cockle ceviche or even some cockle sushi or something. See how it goes. Anybody know, can you do this? Google seemed very... you'd know about it. There'd be stories if it was lethal, so... getting muddy. To get out, the other foot goes in deeper. Yeah, baby! Mud mask. So the weather is not really something we consider when we thought, hey, let's do a YouTube channel where we cook outside. It's chilly. This is not California. This is South Wales in December. I mean, it's what, 5 days from Christmas today. But we got a bench, and that is something I was hoping we'd have when we were doing outdoor cooking, not just kneeling in the mud in the woods. And so this is definitely an upgrade. And so, dear Santa, please bring me a folding aluminium table for Christmas. That would be really nice. As you can see, they don't fall off. We've got beautiful cockles. And so these are the ones we picked first, and they've been purging in salt water for coming up to 3 hours now, and hopefully they'll be grit-free and tasty. If not, it'll just strengthen our teeth a little bit. I don't think that's how it works, but you've got to try and put a positive spin on things. So today, it's probably about 6 degrees, maybe 7 degrees, pretty chilly down by the sea, and so we're having tinola, which is a Filipino soup comprised of onion, ginger, garlic, and then some fish sauce. And then normally in tinola you'd have some hot chili leaves, but they're about £2.80, £3 for this itty bitty little bag in an Asian supermarket, and so we just go for spinach because it's a good trade-off. And so most people peel their ginger, but to be honest, it's just extra flavour. Just doesn't look quite as pretty. As you can probably see, our video capabilities have increased exponentially since our last videos. However, if you look behind me, we now have our new best friend, Thomas the Not So Tank Engine, to ruin our audio quality. But we've started now, so that is life. So now we've sweated off the aromatics. In with our cockles. Being freezing cold water, the lard we're cooking with has just solidified instantly. Good couple of tablespoons of fish sauce. A little bit of salt. These are cute, but incredibly fiddly. Philippine food, so a good dash of chili flakes. And finally, a nice bit of cracked black pepper. And it's cold, we're gonna have a bit more soup. On with the lid, crank the heat up, and let's bring it to the boil. Probably 5 minutes of cooking and then we're good to go. Yeah, the cockles are out of their shells, so it's cooked. And so, yeah, you can tilt a plate, you can't really tilt soup. But there you have it. Slightly gritty tinola. We purged it as best as we could, but it was in a collapsible bucket, so that's life. And so cockles, ginger, fish sauce, garlic, onion, bit of spinach, although I think one bowl got pretty much all of it. And so there you have it. That is what I call a winter warmer, but rapidly going cold. So let's get in there.
Okay. Oh, it stays the soup first.
With me, I'm one of those people, I get ramen, I eat the noodles and leave the broth. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I've never really had shellfish soup.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I mean, normally we always have this as chicken. But the flavour of the juices from those cockles, I mean, it is now already lukewarm, I'm not going to lie. But for me, that's perfect. I prefer cold food.
Spicy.
Spicy? I'm not getting spicy.
Excuse me.
You have to be a strong bad boy.
Ooh, spicy.
And this is what I'm actually here for.
Oh my goodness, what's going on?
Yeah, a bit gritty, but so firm and meaty.
We need to bowl for these shells.
Spicy.
I told you.
It can get to you. Now, the one thing I will say about making soups using things like clams, you plate it up, all the shells are empty.
It just goes
The
on
meat
the bottom.
all the meat all just comes out during the cooking process.
Really nice though.
That just means, kind of like a bag of pistachio nuts, you get to the bottom and you've just got a whole handful all waiting for you. And so for those of you who don't know what the cockles look like, it looks like a little squidgy weird thing with, almost looks like a crab claw if you ignore the rest of it. But they are delicious. And I say, in the UK, nobody wants them. I mean, we've been on this beach for 3 hours, 4 hours today. The only people collecting any kind of free food. We're not talking bread out of the bin at the back of Tesco, we're talking fresh shellfish. So, soup is done, grit has been ingested, quite a bit of it. I think we were disturbing the cockles so much while we were moving from bit to bit getting them that they've not purged quite as they should have, but that was fantastic. But we're also not quite defrosted from that because the soup chilled down too quickly, and so, I don't know about more, but I am frozen right now. And so I think it's time to get in the car and go find shelter somewhere warm.
And purge the remaining.
And purge the remaining cockles and
In the bathtub.
In the bathtub. But yeah, and I say this with a heavy heart, but we would really appreciate a subscription. I've always hated those like, comment, thumbs up, hit the bell kind of things, but now that we are recording videos, we realise that we've got to get to 1,000, and that seems a big number. And so we do appreciate all of the comments and the likes and everything. Thanks for watching. Arrivederci. By the way, Amor has self-esteem issues. Not quite as tall as she looks.
You revealed my secret.